Good evening and welcome back. It's the ILFL Soccer Night Show here on a Monday night. Glad to be back and glad to be here on what we might as well call Champions Night. It's champions to be, champions to come and champions who are. We have some champion footballers in the studio to talk about tonight, and we have a game going on right now as well to find out who will be our League Cup champions as well. There's a game going on at Mile End. You're not there because you're watching us here, I'm sure. It's a game going on between Leytonstone FC and Bow. The game kicked off earlier, and I can tell you right now that it is 1-0 to Leytonstone at the moment, but there's still plenty more to go. The second half is still to go, and we've got our roving reporter, Hasnat, down there, who all things going to plan will call into the show and give us an update later on. But like I said, it's all about champions and champions that we have in the studio. The First Division had some major dramas going on over the course of Sunday. The week before, SCTA and Reach Out were battling. It seemed to be a bit of a foregone conclusion until Reach Out turned up and put a dent in SCTA's hopes. Did they have any nerves going into their game yesterday? Well, they had to go up against Stepney B, the emerging team, the emerging side this season, who again could have scuppered their chances of becoming First Division champions. Reach Out had it all to play for. SCTA only had the championship to lose, and it came down to a final goal which clinched it. 1-0 it was to SCTA. In fact, let me not talk anymore. I'm going to turn to cameras, not only chairman of the ILFL, but a proud competitor with SCTA as well. He's brought a couple of his boys in to talk about it as well. Cameras, here it is. We've spoken about it all season. There only ever were 2 teams in it, and it was tough getting across the line.
It was. I mean, we did make it half hard for ourselves. And to be honest, that loss to us against Reach Out was quite difficult because it was our first league loss in the whole year. We obviously played the whole summer season and the whole winter season, and that was our only loss. So it just goes to show how good Reach Out are, and those 2 teams going up to the Premiership, they will really add strength and depth. But this is the sign of a championship. This is a sign of a good team, to have a knockback and then get back up and then perform and deliver the goods, and that's what we just done. Stepney B were fighting for the 3rd place. They played probably the game of their lives yesterday. They really fought hard. They made it very difficult. Every challenge they were there, every second ball they were there, so well done to Stepney. But it just made for a great finale, really. And this man here delivered that free kick.
So introduce us to this man here, because I hear it was a stunning free kick that you scored. This
is Tesh. He's our midfielder, but he's also our top scorer for midfield, so I'll let him say a few words.
And maybe Roy Hodgson should be watching as well then. Tesh, good evening to you, sir. Like I said, I heard from all accounts, I was keeping an ear on games yesterday, and I heard from more than one person that it was quite some free kick to win the game.
I wish someone filmed it so I could see it back. But yeah, I mean, it was one of those things, one of them games where Stepney B, they were just every tackle, just everything, they were just on us every time, and it was a hard game. It's literally, I think there was 10 minutes left in the game. We had a free kick right at the edge of the box. I put it down, and I've coded it into the top corner. But I mean, team spirit and everything brought us through it as well. But yeah, I mean, can't really say much. Put it down, I put it in. So, but I was quite happy that it went in, really.
And that's what it was. We should just mention about Reach Out as well. In fact, let's show you the 2 games that did take place in the First Division yesterday. The games are there on your screen. Reach Out did what they had to do, and they beat Bromley Juniors by 4-0. But like I said, that 1 goal, the stunning free kick, that was the all-important goal which gives SCTA the championship. And I should say as well, Tesh, SCTA, they've always been that team. For the last 2-3 seasons, they have always shown promise and always probably never realised that potential within themselves. Do you feel now this is it for SCTA? You've turned the corner, you've opened the door, and now up in the Prem, you really feel you can push on and prove yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, this season, I mean, I haven't been with SCTA long myself. I mean, I think I played the last couple of games last year. We've come in and there's been quite a few new players, additions to the squad, and that's helped because we've got a lot of young players and we've got older players in the team, and I think that contrast is working quite well for us. because you've got the experience and then you've got the youth coming through as well.
Well, you're talking about young players. Introduce us to another one of your players over there. Who have we got over here now, my far left?
So we've got our captain, Shom. Yeah, he's been captaining us this season. He's been solid at the back for us as well. So, yeah.
Shom, this is your time to step up to the mark now as captain. Captain of the team, leader of the team.
Yeah, but probably just before we start, I think I'll add to that, I wouldn't be on the younger side, I would be more on the older side.
I was trying to pay you a compliment.
Thank you very much.
That's what I was trying to do for you there. But being captain in the team, I mean, I know people see captains as leaders, but there had to have been many leaders in this team to get you to where you are now.
That's exactly what it is for SCTA in our team. We've got leaders all throughout, in defence, in midfield, and up strike as well, on the wings, everywhere. Everyone is a leader on the team for SCTA. So there might be one captain that's wearing the band, but by performances, everyone is a captain, and throughout the season that just shone through.
Let's have a look at the tables to see how SCTA finished their quest for the title this season, and there it is. Like we said, couldn't have been any title, winning it by a point, equal goal difference between two teams. They've scored somewhere in the region of 120 goals between them this season, so two teams who deserve to go up. Bow, who are playing in this evening's final, it shows how strong the first division really was, and SCTA and Rechat will be no must come next season. Nanu, I mean, the right two teams went up, and the right team won the division in the end.
Absolutely. Those two teams, strong, solid, they learn from their mistakes, and that will be an excellent addition to the Premier Division. SCTA, we know they won the division. They have to be fair, have more experience in playing in this division, and they deserve to win. Reach Out, I think, I mean, although they're fairly new, they learn really quickly. I mean, in the first round, they basically lost against SCTA, and in the second round they actually beat SCTA. But this is one day that they made this fatal error, was on the 9th of November when they lost against Bow by a narrow margin, and I think that what really stung them, and I don't think they've been able to, I mean, although they've been winning all of the games, they just haven't been able to catch up, and that was the only mistake that they made, and it just shows that you make a single mistake in this division, you're out.
It is indeed. I want to talk about a couple of the teams at the other end of the table in the first division. Weavers and St Catherine's, who finished in the bottom two in that division. And it's pretty likely now that St Catherine's could be, at this stage, almost two teams in the same division.
Yeah, it could be. You know, time to face each other, basically.
Is that a wake-up call for St Catherine's in general now, to look at themselves? And
it is. I mean, St Catherine have been going through a downward sprawl for a number of seasons. You know, I mean, some years ago they were like a really solid team, and everybody actually wanted to play for them, and they had a really sort of a youth structure and everything, and it was looking, you know, the future was very bright for them. But something happened sort of two and a half years ago, and ever since then they haven't been able to recover. So only the management of the organisation actually knows what's going on, and if they don't do anything about it, then the only way is down for them.
We've heard the boys talk about Bow and Stepney Borough in the cup final, as we know. Stepney B, who have improved immensely this season, and now they're going to be added to by Robin Hood Tigers and Beaumont Youth as well.
They would be. I mean, those two teams are also local. And it's going to be an excellent addition to the first division as well, with those two teams coming in, and they're going to be really, really strong. You know, Bow are one of my favourites, you know, and Bromley as well. But Bow, they've kind of sort of surpassed Bromley somehow, you know, and I like that. It just shows character as well.
Excellent. Well, you've heard us speaking about Bow, and like I said, they're in the cup final this evening, and live from Mile End, I think we can go to our roving reporter Hasnaf, who's on the line for us. Hasnaf, can you hear me?
Good evening, Dave. How are you guys doing?
We're doing very well, sir. We've just started the show. We've had a little chat about Bow in particular and how competitive they've been in the first division. How competitive are they down there at the moment?
Well, they certainly haven't disappointed. Bow have been, as the underdogs here, they've come out here and they've really given it a game. I think statistically we had Leytonstone to win this, and they have been putting a lot of pressure. But Bow have been absorbing it. A very good goal from, Dave, just now, live on the phone with you, Leyton scored their second goal. Unbelievable. So I think that's what it's been. Bow have been really soaking up the pressure, but Leytonstone have been finding their way through. That's what they did. They ended up spreading the ball through and getting a really nice one-on-one with the keeper. That's what it's been taking. But yeah, now it looks like Leytonstone have crawled away 2-0.
So are we into the second half yet, Has?
Yeah, we literally kicked off the second half 2 minutes ago, and I thought I'd get a chance to speak to you about missing a goal, but it seems like a goal has just gone in, so it's 2-0 Leytonstone.
Thank you very much, Hasnat. We'll hear from you later on in the show.
Cheers, Dave.
Cheers, thank you. Well, there it is. See,
Bye.
live from Marlin Stadium, live as it happens. Leytonstone have now gone 2 goals up, and Leytonstone, one of those teams that may or may not even be in the first division themselves. Will they be competing against the likes of SETA or not? Not having a great run in the league, but doing very well and looking to grab hold of the League Cup. The game sponsored by Tower Hamlets Homes. Live to you, as we said, from Marlin. Cameras, I just want to come back to you again. We spoke about it at the beginning of the season. We'll come back. We can't speak about it enough, about the strength now that the league has now, as a league. We know that the Prem now is going to be strong next season. The first division looks like it could be exciting as well next season. Again, strength, all power to the ILFL.
It is, Dave, and that's one of our priorities as running a league, is to obviously give new teams the chance to enter into football as a stepping stone, and then obviously, you know, improve and go up the ladder. So if the first division and the Premiership are strong, then teams will benefit from that quality of football. And really, as a Sunday league, we're the stepping stone for teams to go higher up into Saturday league and intermediate leagues and you know your semi-pro senior leagues. And I'm really excited about the Premiership in particular next year, because I think it'll be one of the fiercest and strongest divisions that the ILFL has ever had. Obviously, we've got the existing teams that are, there's interest from a lot of new teams who want to come in as well. So obviously, we tend to have a policy of not putting teams straight into the Premiership because we want to see how they are, which was the case with Reach Out. So any good teams that are likely to come in now will either be in the second or the first division. But yeah, it will be very, very strong, and it will be a really, really good 2015-16.
It will indeed. I mean, this season is ending now in a real climax in the Premier Division. The division that these boys are going to be joining, this is where it stands at the moment. They had games themselves yesterday. This is how the Premier Division results looked right now. West End beat Beaumont by 2-0, and Stepney beat Ireland by 7 goals to 0. In fact, the Beaumont-West End fixture was a double header, and West End beat Beaumont twice to end their faint glimmer, their faint hope of having some impact on the top of the table, but it wasn't to be. London Tigers doing what they do, and they beat Sire by 5 goals to 1, and that leaves the table looking like this, with 3 teams on 29 points. London Tigers playing 1 game more than West End and Stepney, and it looks like it's slipping away from them, but we've had twists and turns in this division all the way through, and there is still more to come. We will talk more about the Premier Division later on in the show, in the 3rd segment, but we've still got other football that goes on. We had some cup football from the Vets last week. It was the Vets Cup. Teams taking part, lots of strong competition there. First Division taking on the Prem boys. What happened in that? We're going to talk about that in the next session. Bring in Nanu to bring us up to date with all the stats and facts, and we'll keep talking to the boys from SETA right here on the ILFL Soccer Show. We'll be back in a few minutes.
আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL সকার নাইট।